Is following them, perhaps on a date, and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People's City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Next 24. With the authors of Next 24.
All right, welcome in. Happy Sunday. Here's Starnes on the ones and twos as always. Kicking off our Sunday content. You guys are always welcome to join in. 402-464-5685. And, of course, join the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X. And if you've got Allo Cable, Allo Channel 961. With that being said, we got a great guest in studio. I'll throw it to the host, Mike and Sherry.
Well, good morning. Welcome to What's Next with Mike and Sherry. Sherry, good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
We've got another special show today that I'm especially excited about today.
Always.
It is. We've got a great show. But before we jump in real quick with announcing our guest, Harrison, what did you think of the Husker game yesterday?
Right back on track. I know I kind of told you off air. I wasn't super nervous over this team. You look at the opponents that they lost to. I mean, you got all top 15 opponents, not counting Iowa, but we all know how tough of a road environment that Iowa game is. We watched it.
Yeah.
I think the guys are right back on track, and I know you said it. A little bit of a statement game.
So it's a bit exciting. And so, Sherry, we will be talking to our special guest. Why don't you introduce him, as he is also a former basketball coach. So we'll ask him about the Huskers.
We're excited. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our show, What's Next with Mike and Sherry. We are super excited today because we have a very special guest joining us in the studio here at 93.7 The Ticket, Ron Scheidt, author of the powerful book, Am I That Man? This morning, we're having a real and meaningful conversation about the heroes, the role models, and mentors who shape our lives and influence the people we become. Ron's message isn't just inspiring, it's challenging. It pushes us to look in the mirror and ask ourselves some important questions. Who has shaped my life? What kind of man or woman am I becoming? And what legacy am I building right now? I believe this is a conversation all of us need, whether you're seeking direction, trying to grow as a leader, raising a family, or simply wanting to be better than you were yesterday. And this is the second time we've had Ron on the show. We also have some exciting things to talk about in his professional career, which I'm super excited to get into that. But Ron, welcome back.
Sherry, Mike, thank you for having me. It's great to be back.
Oh, Ron.
Sherry's staring at me right now if you can't see it.
No, I know. Ron,
with one eye.
Sherry had a little eye surgery, so she's kind of a one-eyed jack today.
Old football injury. Thank you, Adam Carricker.
Yeah, she's stiff on
I told you not to go one-on-one with Adam. He's too big for you, Sherry.
You know what? I'm telling you, I was on the same team with him.
That's a good idea.
His wife took a picture of me and him side by side, getting ready for the play to start, and we both had our game faces on. And if I had to go back and do it over and still get this eye injury, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Anytime you can be on the same team with Adam, I highly recommend it.
You sure don't want to be on the team against him.
No. the funny thing, when the ball hit Sherry, it was like the doink when it hits the goalpost.
Yes, Adam didn't hit me. It was the football. Let's make that perfectly
It was like the guy getting hit in, Meet the Parents or something in the volleyball game.
It was. Oh, it exactly was. That's a good analogy. Ron, let's jump in. For the people that don't know who are listening today, why don't you give us a little bit of your early years and background?
Well, Mike, I actually grew up in Lincoln here, and I started at about age 13. My father passed away, and we moved in with my grandmother at 18th and O Street. It was supposed to be temporary. She lived in a very, very small apartment right behind what was the Goodwill store at 18th and O Street there. My mom and I moved in with her, which was going to be very, very temporary, and it ended up being forever. It was a forever home. I actually, slept on a couch for about, 5 years, and it was a very small apartment, but my grandma was wonderful. She looked just like Aunt Bee on Mayberry. They looked exactly, they could have been twins.
Did she act the same way?
She acted the same way.
Oh, man.
She took great care of me. Ended up going to Everett Junior High, where I met Bill Hunsacker, who was one of the people that I wrote about in the book, and ultimately ended up going to Lincoln High, where I coached with a real famous guy by the name of Mike Worrell. So that's kind of my background a little bit.
Yeah, we've heard of him.
Yeah, he's very well known, radio personality.
Oh,
but you know what? I've heard some things about him.
Well, Sherry, we'll see what we can do with him.
We tried back in the day. That was a lot of fun back in 82, 83, 84 over at Lincoln High, coaching ninth grade football.
It was, Mike. Great memories.
And Lincoln High has got a special, a special place in your heart.
It does. Always will.
But you started out, let's see, you worked and then you went back later to get your teaching degree.
I did. I was working at Lincoln Steel actually with my brother, and went back to get my degree. It was kind of a funny story. I was coaching basketball for Coach Hunsacker at Everett Junior High, just coaching 7th and 8th grade basketball. And he, 9th grade, I guess, as well. But he came to me one day when I went in there and he said, "I need to talk to you." And I said, "Sure, Coach, anything." He goes, "Well, I need you to do something for me." And I go, "Anything? What is it?" You know, I'll do whatever it is for you. And he goes, "I need you to go to college and get your degree so you can move up in the coaching ranks." And I said, "Well, Coach, nobody in my family's ever went to school. We all just work." And he goes, "Well, Ron, I want you to go to college. It would mean a lot to me if you'd go to school." And I said, "Well, Coach, if I go to school right now, I'll be 30 years old when I graduate." And he said, "Ron, you're going to be 30 years old whether you graduate or not." So,
I like that.
It was just a great piece of advice. It's just one of the many, many things that Coach Hunsacker said that impacted my life over the years. I did go to school, got my degree in education, also got hours towards my master's, but ended up switching careers, as you're aware, along the way.
Well, what I wanted to talk about was, from standing back from afar and always kind of watching your life, Ron, it's just amazing to me. I mean, the doors that have opened up, the things where you've gone to. I mean, you were, I don't know the whole story, but I mean, you were coaching, but you went to Wesleyan, had a great position at Wesleyan.
I did. I was an assistant coach at Wesleyan for 3 years with Jerry Smuddy, and I want to brag here, but a couple of the teams that I coached, we were recently elected into the Wesleyan Athletic Hall of Fame, and it certainly wasn't anything I did. We had great head coach and great players, but I was honored to be on their coattails.
Well, that's where I really kind of want to go to the next and jumping really into the book, the Am I That Man? How Heroes, Role Models, and Mentors Shape Your Life. But you not only were part of this book, you lived it.
I did live it. Like I said, I wrote in the book, Mike, about my brother, Roger Scheidt, and Coach Bill Hunsaker. And those was when I was approached by Brian Willis to do an article for a book entitled If I Knew Then, which was the forerunner for Am I That Man?
Yeah.
But when he asked me to write an article for that, I just kept thinking, what could I write about? I was about a year away from retiring from the feds, and I just kept coming back to people that had invested in my life, and it just was like a funnel, kept coming down to, and it was my brother and Coach Hunsaker were the two people that really, really invested in me, saw something in me I didn't see in myself, and just unconditional love, the time, the energy, the focus, just invested in my life.
I'd like to read this real quick about the book overview. Am I That Man? It's about how heroes, role models, and mentors can shape your life. It's a collaborative anthology published in 2013, featuring what's amazing to me, 31 highly personal accounts from diverse contributors of the book. Tell us the background. How did this pull us all together? Can you share the story?
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you. I was approached by Brian Willis, who's probably one of the top law enforcement instructors in North America. Brian is a retired sergeant with Calgary, Alberta Police Services, and a good friend of mine. And he's written several of these books, all with the Chicken Soup for the Soul format, where several people write, a few pages. And he asked me to do an article for a book called If I Knew Then, and I wrote, Am I That Man? And it was basically honoring my brother and my coach. And as soon as I sent the submission off to Brian in Calgary, he called me right away. And my first thought, being that type A male personality, was that, I didn't make the cut. I failed. But it was quite the opposite. He was super impressed with the article. And he and I talked and collaborated on this book, Am I That Man? How heroes, mentors, and role models can shape your life. Brian reached out to several people he knew. I reached out to several people I knew, and we also reached out to people that really neither one of us knew. They were just people that we wanted involved with the project. Tony Dungy initially was going to be involved with the project, and he went a different path. And also Sully Sullenberger, the pilot that landed the plane on the Hudson River, he was very interested, but he got caught up in something else. So we love doing it, and met a lot of great people, and hopefully it's impacted some lives along the way.
Well, let me read the forward to this book. I was looking at this last night. Am I That Man? The true measure of a man is not where he stands at times of comfort and convenience, but rather where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Those words were spoken by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. many years ago, and they can be heard over and over in the book as you read this book. Ron, going through the book, I noticed in terms of the book has 3 pillars of philosophy. Honor the past, acknowledge the present, and invest in the future. Can you expand on that?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the things we're really missing in society right now is honoring the past. We have so many people that we call role models that I wouldn't even remotely call a role model. And I think we're missing our past and the people that got us where we are today. And I think to really understand the present and where we're going in the future, we have to acknowledge the past. And the past for me was many, many people that have influenced, poured into my life. But Coach Hunsaker and my brother Roger were the two that I wrote about in the book. And we have to acknowledge the past, not only acknowledge the past, but acknowledge what's going on in the present right now. And sometimes we try to always look into the future, and we aren't content with what's going on in the current. And then the next thing is we want to invest in the future. None of us would be where we are today if someone hadn't invested in us. And I really encourage people to look back, honor the past, and look forward and invest in the future.
Well, I'd like you to also kind of talk about in terms of paralleling this with your own life, because I just find it so interesting. Because of a mentor or role model, you go back to college.
Right.
You're doing some coaching, but you get to, I remember you telling me stories about you get to go to do a lot of basketball camps, and you're meeting really, really high profile coaches. Take us down that journey.
I did, Mike. Actually, I was coaching at the University of Kansas for Coach Larry Brown at the time at his basketball camp. and I met one of his assistant coaches, a guy by the name of John Calipari. I'm not sure whatever happened to John. I hope he's doing well.
Oh,
But
Mr. Arkansas.
Coach Cal and I became very good friends, and he asked me, he said, have you ever coached at five-star basketball camp, which is kind of the Yankee Stadium of college, or high school basketball camps? And I said, no. And he says, would you like to? And I says, you're kidding, right? And he went into his office. I followed him in, and he made a call to a man named Howard Garfinkel, that ran and owned five-star basketball camp. And I worked there for several years and met just incredible people. I'm sitting there one night watching a game, and I get a tap on my shoulder. There's a seat next to me, and a man says, hey, Coach, is it okay if I sit next to you? And I said, sure. And I turn around, and it's Coach Jim Valvano.
Oh, my gosh.
I just met, incredible people. Larry Brown, Coach Iba, Bobby Knight, just incredible people over the years. And, you learn from everyone. You either learn what you want to do and what you want to be, or what you don't want to do and what you don't want to be, which I think you learn from everyone in every situation.
So you met Bobby Knight. I'm assuming he never threw a chair at you, and you figured out you should never throw a chair when you were coaching.
He does have a Bobby Knight story.
Oh, I have several Coach Knight stories. He was getting ready to speak at Assembly Hall, and there were probably 400 kids in there, some of his campers, and he was getting ready to speak. And right before he was to talk, a kid kicked the basketball, and it was rolling out the door. And I ran over to pick it up, and as I look up, Coach Knight is right in front of me. And Coach Knight and Coach Iba were very, very close friends, because Coach Iba's father, Henry P. Iba, was a real mentor to Coach Knight. And I did the kind of like the kid wanting to buy the Red Ryder BB gun. I did a real fast talk. Coach Knight, I'm Ron Scheidt from Lincoln, Nebraska, and Coach Iba says hi. Well, he stopped to talk to me for quite some time, and he puts his arm around me, and we just stood there and talked while all the other coaches and kids wondered what we were talking about. But I had incredible experiences with him. He was always very, very kind to me and very gracious, and I have wonderful memories of Coach Knight.
Awesome.
What was the impact to you as a young man meeting these coaches?
Well, it was like these people are at the pinnacle of their profession, but they took the time to talk to a nobody like myself that was on the way up. And that's something that really had a huge impact on me. Coach Knight didn't have to stop and talk to me. Coach Brown didn't have to befriend me. Coach Cal, John Calipari, he didn't have to help me with my career, but they all did. They all reached back to help somebody that was on the way up, because they were all on the way up at one time and someone helped them. And it's just really is ingrained in me to try to help people that are on their pursuit.
But that had to be a compliment for you, because obviously they saw something in you that they wanted to promote, to, what's the word I'm looking for? Facilitate, to instill confidence in you to keep doing what you were doing.
I think it's oftentimes how you approach people, just, respectful. You want to approach people and be respectful and of their time and who they are and their position. And it's oftentimes just how you approach people.
Wow.
Well, Ron, in that theme, going back to your book, as I was reading this, it says one of the most brutal things in the book that sometimes you have to do is you have to be brutally honest with yourself and admit maybe we often fall short, sometimes embarrassingly short, or being the man others need and deserve. That's a tough thing to face. From this book and from your experience, what gives a man the courage to confront the truth instead of avoiding it?
Well, that's a tough one, Mike. I think that we all aspire to be better. Right now, I aspire to be a better husband, a better father, a better grandfather, a better instructor, a better friend. They're just things we aspire to be. And if we're not on that right path, I think that it's just incumbent upon us to try to seek that path. I'm a strong believer in the Lord as well. And we sometimes just have to get down on our knees and admit we don't have the answer and we're seeking. I think that we have to constantly be seeking the truth and seeking the answer.
So you've had this book out for a while. Can you give us some stories? What's been the impact of the book?
Well, surprisingly enough, Mike, one of the things that's really surprised me and impacted me was I was a little bit concerned about the title, Am I That Man? Because, half the population are females. And a lot of the presentations I've done, I was expecting some real pushback just based on the title alone, but that's been far from the truth. In fact, the biggest purchasers of the book have been females. They have came to me and said, I want this book for my husband or for my son or for my son-in-laws. But it's been just a tremendous revelation to see that the book has not only impacted men as we thought it would, but it's impacted women, because I really believe that the man does steer oftentimes how things go in the family. If they come home in a bad mood from work, it affects everyone in the family. And if we can affect a man, the residual is it has a tremendous impact on their family.
Well, I really like it in the book that it happens to be in bold print. The book it talks about the key is to take action. You're encouraged to share the information about the book with friends and family, but take action. But so many people do not take action or afraid to take action. What's been your experience with that?
Well, I think change in the unknown, Mike, are two very scary things for all of us. You know, change in the unknown. We're very content to remain where we are, and just to be confronted sometimes by change or anything else. It's a very scary proposition, and I highly encourage people to take a look at themselves. And
Absolutely. And you know what you just said, for most of my medical career, I worked in oncology and cancer. And that was one thing when my patients would come in for their very first chemo treatment, they were terrified because it was something unknown. And I would tell them, you know what, right now, you're just afraid of the unknown, fear of the unknown. And once you get in there, that first time, you're going to leave and go, this was nothing compared to what I was expecting. And I think sometimes we have those expectations with change or something new that pops up that we've never done before. And I know I've found myself in that numerous times where it's like, I don't think I want to do this because, and it was just fear.
I think that's very true, Sherry. I think it is fear of the unknown. And if you talk about your personal story there, cancer is the worst word in the English language.
Yeah.
And I think that it is just fear of the unknown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ron, when you look back and look at this book, who do you believe this book is for?
I believe it's for everyone, Mike. I think it's applicable to everyone. I think it's applicable to men in forming their lives. I think it's applicable to younger people, older people. I think it's applicable to women. If I'd have written about one more person, it would have been my mom. So then I'd had to find a new title.
Oh, that'd have been
But
a
you know
title.
what?
Am I that person?
Yeah.
When you've been talking about that too, when you were talking about as many women has bought it as men, but there nowadays, unfortunately, being a single mom is almost an epidemic.
It is.
And
It
you not
very
only
much
have
is.
to be the mom, but you have to be the dad.
Like
And you
multiple
have
roles.
yes. And so this sounds like exactly a good blueprint. Disregard the title, women. This is a good blueprint for some things that you need to change in yourself, some things that you need to instill in your kids if there's not a male figure around. And I like the fact that it's not, even in spite of the title, that it's for everybody. Look at the kids today. There's so many kids that need to hear these things, that need to even read this and seek out a mentor.
We just we have a whole generation that I believe we need to invest in.
Absolutely.
And with our time, with our talents, with
Yep.
our treasures.
Yep.
We need to show other people that someone cares, that they're not out there walking this walk alone.
Right.
Well, I think, looking at this book, when we were growing up, it seemed like we had pretty clear role models and mentors. At least it felt that way. Who were some of yours? Sports figures?
Oh, of course. Mickey Mantle was my brother's all-time favorite player. So ultimately, he was my all-time favorite player because I just idolized my brother, and I saw so much in my brother that I wanted to be and that I wanted to emulate. He was just it for me. And then later on, after my dad passed away, my brother made sure that I went to school where Coach Hunsaker taught at. I was supposed to go to Whittier, and where your father was a legend.
Yeah.
But my brother was good friends with Coach Hunsaker and insisted that I go to Everett for Bill's influence, and it certainly paid off.
Well, the key message certainly in the book is most men want to make the right choices, but sometimes struggle to know what the right choice is. This book's going to help you clarify the path by encouraging self-examination, accountability, and I love this, intentional living. Ultimately, Am I That Man is a call to become a better son, a better father, a better husband, a better leader, and a better mentor, plus a better role model. Ron, how can people get this book or get a hold of you if you'd like to meet Ron personally?
Well, you can go on Amazon and spend way too much money for it, or I'm kind of cheap. Or you can just reach out and contact me, and I'll make sure you get a copy of it. The best way to contact me is my email, and that is RONSCHEIDT, the number 2 at Gmail. One more time, RONSCHEIDT, the number 2 at gmail.com.
Yep.
Do you go and give talks on your book?
I do. Yes, Sherry, I do.
We need to take a break. We'll be back with Ron Scheidt. We're going to talk about how he made a choice in making a different career path. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of February. Get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. When we're looking out for a homeowner, we're always keeping their budget in mind. Let's put numbers together and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2 for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes a complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Blake Farm Outfitters, and we're all about equipping the modern farmer. Our team is Nebraska's go-to for precision planting, SurePoint liquid systems, Green Eye Spot Spray, and more. So whether you're considering an equipment upgrade, adding new tech, or just need a trained eye to service what you have, check us out. Creep on us at BoykeFarmOutfitters.com and get connected with our team of experts. We're excited to help you find what's next. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24.
All right, welcome back in. Second segment, What's Next 24. Got a great guest in studio. And again, 402-464-5685 starting Heyman text line if you guys want to join in. Go to the host.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Mike with What's Next, along with Sherry, and we're with a special guest today, Ron Scheidt, who is one of the co-authors of Am I That Man, a fabulous book that you can get that really, really helps you examine yourself. But Ron, we got to jump in, though. It's amazing. I believe you probably took this book, looked in the mirror, and one day you decided to make a career change.
Well, actually, Mike, I'd made the career change prior to the book, but it's certainly some of the things that I used and thought about to make the career change.
Correct.
Ended up coming out in the book. True.
Tell us what the career change was.
Well, I was a state probation officer for 3 years, and I had the opportunity to go with the feds. So in August of 1991, I became a federal agent. I worked Omaha, primarily North Omaha for my whole career, and I worked, I would say, a street crime or a violent crime caseload. I specialized in guns, gangs, drugs, and bank robberies. So that's what I did, retiring in August of 11. So I did about 20 years and 15 minutes to get my retirement.
Wow. So when you do that, Ron, I mean, that is quite a different career.
It is a tremendous career, but it had a lot of similarities.
What did you have to first learn and prep yourself to be ready to do this kind of work?
Well, federal law was quite a bit different than the state law that I was accustomed to working as a state probation officer here in Lincoln. I had to learn federal law. I had to learn Omaha. I mean, I had to learn the streets of, Omaha. Businesses up there, somebody would say, I'm working at Lozier's, and I'd go, what's Lozier's?
That's tough.
I had no idea, having been a Lincoln guy my whole life, but I had some really great mentors there in my job as well, people that worked beside me. And so it was a great career change, and it opened up a lot of doors for me now.
To do that kind of, to get yourself ready though, how did you prepare yourself? What do you have to do?
Well, you have to be in the moment. You have to be paying attention to what's going on. I was in some different situations, as all of us were, that you really had to be paying attention and be in the moment and not worry about what's happening later on that day or later that night. You had to, pay attention to what's happening right now. And I think so much of that job, like any job, is the mental aspect of it. One of the things that Coach Knight said was mental is to physical as 4 is to 1, meaning the mental aspect of anything we do is paramount to the physical aspect. And another saying in martial arts we use is the body can't go where the mind hasn't been. So you have to go there mentally before you can ever go there physically.
What kind of training did you have to go through to get to the federal point?
Well, there's a ton of training, like control tactics or martial arts training, firearms training, tactical interviewing, arrest, search and seizure,
Wow.
federal law, testifying skills, report writing, just a ton of things that, we had an academy at the time in Baltimore, Maryland that I attended initially. And then most of the training at that time was on the job training or at your local office training.
Well, and if you're wondering about Ron's training or credentials, it's extensive. It's really multidisciplinary, a blend of martial arts, tactical response, firearms proficiency, law enforcement, strategy. Share a story though, because I know this is one of your passions is about martial arts. Share who you've mentioned a role model or two.
Well, my martial arts role model was a man by the name of Ken Brooks, Grandmaster Ken Brooks, who has since passed away. He was, I was so intimidated by that guy, so afraid of that guy. He was just the epitome of discipline and tactics and technique. And then we got to be like brothers, and his death hit me really hard, but he and I got to be very, very close. We were firearms instructors together. He was the first person in the state of Nebraska to be a concealed carry firearms instructor, and I was the second person. And he just had a tremendous impact on my life. And a great man, great technician, as is another local man by the name of Dan Longoria, that if people are looking for martial arts training, I highly recommend Grandmaster Longoria and his wife, Patty. They are tremendous people and tremendous instructors.
They're down there on O Street.
They
right?
are. They're right on
Street.
56th and O Street, and they are the epitome of martial arts.
Wow.
Ron, tell us about your career today and what you're currently doing.
Well, Mike, I'm currently the co-owner and director of safety training for a group called Community Corrections Institute. It was founded by Bob Thornton probably around 25 years ago. And Bob is, I would say, the foremost expert in the country on all things community corrections related, probation, parole, corrections, community corrections. Bob is, I would say, the foremost expert in all of those things. And Bob continues to handle the business end or aspect of the business, and I do all of the training. In fact, when I leave here today, I'm headed to Minneapolis. I'm teaching a control tactics course up there for a week from officers from all over the state of Minnesota. But that's what I primarily do. Is I'm an instructor with Community Corrections Institute.
Well, I find that really fascinating because it just, like you said, it just lines up with your background, your natural talents, teaching, coaching, training. Give us a little insight. What's your training programs like? What's this about?
Well, we currently teach a whole plethora of different things. I'm going to be teaching a control tactics course, which is basically martial arts, how to physically handle people. I'm going to be teaching that this week, but I also teach search and seizure, handcuffing, OC spray, firearms, gun retention, ground defense, testifying skills, report writing. So we teach a whole group of different skill sets.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned Minneapolis and Minnesota, and I don't want to get political here, but I have some questions for you. You see a lot of things on TV, a lot of things with ICE, and I'm just using that as the example, but human behavior and the things you see on TV. I'd like to just get your personal opinion. When you watch that on TV, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think, first of all, we've got to be very, very careful in forming a judgment either way by what we see on TV, because oftentimes this will shock you, but the media can be very tainted one direction or the other. And I think we have to, as just consumers of truth and truth seekers, we have to be very careful in what we're seeing, because what we're seeing on TV is only two-dimensional. We're not experiencing what's happening on the scene.
The whole story.
The whole story, the weather, the environment, the everything that's going on. I think I still have faith in the system that the truth on both of the incidents that you're referring to, probably the truth will find its way. And it's a very difficult situation for everyone involved.
Does this come up in your training, these topics, these discussions?
We talk about these things constantly. You have to make reasonable decisions. The United States Supreme Court case, Graham versus Connor, speaks to law enforcement about your decisions have to be reasonable. It's very confusing oftentimes to your average citizen because they're thinking that the yardstick or the judgment should be, was the decision right or wrong? And fortunately or unfortunately, that's not what the United States Supreme Court said. They said that your actions have to be reasonable. That's what they're going to judge you on. And so we have to talk about this constantly in our use of force decision making.
Well, when you're teaching, and I've done classroom teaching, not in your topic, of course, but usually you're bringing people because they either need information or maybe they've got problems to solve, and you're to help them solve that problem.
Well, I don't know that quite so much that, Mike, but we have students, for example, this week in Minneapolis, we're going to be teaching in a suburb of Minneapolis called Cottage Grove. And we have probation officers that are going to end up being control tactics and use of force instructors for their respective probation offices when they return. So they will have a lot of questions. We will not only be going over the physical components of control tactics, but you have to constantly, when you're doing that, you have to go over the reasonableness and where it fits into the law. One without the other is just totally incomplete.
So as a probation officer, you're going to, and maybe I'm being naive here, but you're going to have instances where you're going to actually have to use some martial arts, tactical maneuvers type thing for your safety.
Absolutely. Fortunately, it is rare, but you would
still
rather
there.
have it than not need it than need it and not have it.
Wow. And so, oh, go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, go ahead, Sherry.
So, okay, besides instructing the probation officers, you're also instructing a lot of police forces. Do you also do instruction to any of our military personnel?
No, we don't really touch on the military, and our primary clients are probation, parole, corrections, the private citizens.
Okay.
Which I'm going to start moving into that arena more. But those are our primary clients. We do some law enforcement when they're assigned to task forces where they work with probation, parole officers, because oftentimes, although their skill set is very similar, their missions are dramatically different. So they have to work together to learn each other's, mission and duties.
Well, let's go back to you, Ron. Tell us about, in just terms of you personally. Have you found happiness and joy in this career?
Oh, I love it. I love people. And you have to love people to do this. When I'm teaching an instructor course, like I'll be teaching this week, I'll say, why do you want to be an instructor? Well, I love to, hit people, drive fast, shoot a gun, whatever those are. And I said, I have a real passion for those things. And I said, well, that's all well and good, but that has to be secondary. First and foremost, to be a great instructor, it's not about showing the students what you can do. It's about showing them what they can do. And to be a great instructor, I believe the number one word is passion. But first and foremost, it's not a passion for your topic. It has to be a passion for people. You have to genuinely have a passion for people and love people and want to make a difference. And some instructors have a difficult time with that. They just want to drive fast, shoot, or wrestle around with somebody.
I can connect with that. The passion in the classroom, and you really want to make a difference in their lives. The passion is, what is your hope and dream when somebody takes your course that they walk away with?
I hope they walk away with, I have been able to impact their life, because I know they're going to impact tons and tons of other people's lives. It's just like a funnel. I'm at the very top, and it's just going to keep going, but they're going to make tons of impact on their coworkers, their family, their neighbors, the parents of the other kids that their kids play with. It's just going to be a residual effect that it just spreads out there. We go to Lincoln Berean Church, and one of the beliefs at Lincoln Berean Church is each one reach one. And I don't think that you could find a better saying for life than each one reach one. And that's something I really try to pride myself in my career.
Oh, that's really great, making a difference. So today in this profession, I watch your Facebook page. I always love it. I see you traveling all over with great pictures of people who you've met and have connections with people. Who today in your profession are those heroes, role models, or mentors that have shaped your life in this profession?
Well, I think first and foremost, I have to give my hats off to my business partner, my brother, my mentor, who I love dearly, and that is Bob Thornton. Bob gave me an opportunity, and he shaped me into not only being an instructor, but being a businessman, and Bob Thornton would be number one. As far as my martial arts career, Jack Hoban, who is the subject matter expert for the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, Dan Longoria here locally, Phil Messina, retired NYPD. It's just, I'll miss someone if I go on and on.
Oh,
so many people have poured into my life, and I'll never be able to thank them enough for what they've done for me.
So when's the movie coming out, Ron?
Who's going to play me? Al
Pacino. Why
Al Pacino.
Why not Al Pacino?
Yeah, Al Pacino. He's one of my guys.
That was a no-brainer.
My favorite actor of those, Denzel. So
well, why not Denzel? Yeah, that's what he'll do. Very, very good. I like that. Ron, before I want to make sure. We've got to take a quick break. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. I know you've got some events coming up. We want to make sure we talk about that.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Byrne as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
With so much financial uncertainty, are you wondering if retirement savings will last? Markets ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones, advisor Ryan Buck. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help you ensure you're prepared for the journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek. It's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 8380 Old Cheney Road, Lincoln, Nebraska. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Lincoln's Coffee Week is now Coffee Month in February. With 25 participating venues, visit and check into at least 10 for a chance to win a $250 gift card to the venue of your choice. More details at lincoln.org/coffee-month, brought to you by Visit Lincoln.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24.
All right, welcome in to final segment. What's Next 24? Only got about 5 minutes left to go here, so I'll throw it to the host.
Real quick, welcome back, everybody. We're with Ron Scheidt. There's a section in the book, Ron, I want to mention really quick. Am I That Man? That I really love on page 25. It talks about the 5 stages of greatness, which includes the 5 L's. Learn it, live it, love it, lead it, and leave it. Stage 1, learn it in the mind. Stage 2, live it in the body. Stage 3, live it from the heart. Stage 4, lead it from the spirit. But what I like is stage 5, leave it means the legacy. Ron, what do you hope to be your legacy?
I hope that people that know both of us could look at me and say, Ron reminds me a lot of his brother, or Ron reminds me of Coach Hunsaker, but primarily Ron reminds me a lot of his brother, Roger. That's something that would mean the world to me. That has been my lifelong goal. When my brother passed away, there were over 800 people at his funeral. And when we stood up to leave the church, my mom had my mom on my arm, and I looked and I felt like all set of eyes on me. And it's like, why are they looking at me? It was just weird. Why is this? And years later, I realized that everybody was asking, am I that man? Am I that man that my brother molded into be and invested in and poured his life into? Am I that man? And that would be my legacy. If somebody could someday look at me and say, he reminds me a lot of Roger.
Your legacy is keeping Roger's memory alive.
Well, this is a fantastic book, Ron. I want to make sure, though, we get this in, and so we pivot just a little bit. You've got some upcoming events. Would you like to speak on that?
Exciting things.
We do, Mike. I'm very excited about it. On August 29th, Saturday, August 29th, the first Saturday before Nebraska starts their football season. I didn't want to compete against those guys. So on Saturday, August 29th, I am bringing in Ed Monk, the author of a book called The First 30 Seconds. And the book is basically about active shooters, school security, and church security. And I'm sorry that we even have to do this, but in this day and age, it's such an important topic that I'm very, very excited to bringing Ed in. I read the book and went, this is so powerful that I want to make it one of my life's missions to share Ed and to share his story. So right now, all we're doing is collecting names and email addresses, because I'm having dinner with Ed next month in St. Louis at the International Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association Conference, where I'm on the board of directors, and Ed is going to be presenting. And once I have dinner with him, we're going to work out some of the details, but we're going to make the price point very, very affordable, because I want to get people in to see this. And it's who's it for? It's for anyone. It's for church security, school security, businesses, law enforcement, first responders, hospitals, just individuals.
Well, and on a break, I told you about somebody that we had on the show when we were talking about domestic violence. I just want to point out that I think it's a very important thing for women to look into this thing too, to protect themselves.
Very much
Not just because a domestic violence situation, but we hear so many women just out walking, or even in parking lots, coming out from Target. I've heard a lot up in Omaha. So this isn't just a male dominated thing.
Oh, not at all. Sherry and I were talking over break that, and I hate to sound like an infomercial here because a businessman is the last thing in the world I am, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. If you are interested in ever doing a class for you, your friends, your agency, your church group, whatever, you can reach out to me the same way. If you're interested in more information once it becomes available for August 29th for the Ed Monk First 30 Seconds presentation, just send me an email at RONSCHEIDT, 2@gmail.com. All I need from you right now is just your name and email address, and I will make sure that you're on that list. And when I actually start promoting, that you will receive information about the upcoming course.
Are you going to put information about this out on your social media pages?
I absolutely am.
Ron,
Absolutely.
we've only got a minute, so we're going to give you the last word. What would you like the community to know?
Well, I would just like to thank Mike and Sherry for what they do. It usually ends up being about the person that they invite in to speak, but none of this would be possible if it wouldn't be for Mike and Sherry, dedicating their time and dedicating their lives to touching other lives. And it's what it's all about. Each one reach one, and honoring the past and investing in the future. And there's nobody that really honors the past or invests in the future better than Mike and Sherry Worrell. So God bless you both.
Well, I
thank you for
appreciate that,
having me.
Ron.
Thank you so much.
We feel that people's stories do matter. We want people's stories to be heard. Lessons can come from that. With that, we're finished up for today. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thanks.
Looking to get